Hello, everyone. It's Friday, Erev Shabbos, Parshat Eikev. I hope everyone had a good week and is doing well. We begin by thanking the sponsors of this week's video, Dvar Torah, Jen and Dror Michelson and family, who are sponsoring in honor of the upcoming marriage of their daughter, Alana, to Ethan Applebaum. And we wish Mazel Tov to all of them, Mazel Tov to Jen and to Dror, Mazel Tov, of course, to Alana and Ethan, Mazel Tov to the entire family, to Joyce Kosowski, and it's wonderful that we have these happy, joyous occasions still that uplifts all of our spirits. We're so happy to hear. And once again, thank you for the sponsorship and Mazel Tov. One of the things that I miss about not having regular shul with everyone here present together in person in the main sanctuary is that it used to be that after I would speak, after the davening was done, I would give my drasha, and then there would always be at least some people who would speak to me about my drasha. There were the regulars who would come up to me or who I would approach and who would always have a comment, a reaction, constructive criticism, something further to discuss. And seriously, I always did enjoy those discussions, and I'm sorry if you missed them like me. And then there were people that would come every once in a while, come up to me, or I would speak in the Kiddush room. And then there were some people who just one time, when a specific drasha really struck them, either brought a question to the forefront of their mind, or perhaps they disagreed with something I shared, or just really got them thinking about something and they wanted to follow up, share a question, share a thought. And there was one of these examples in particular that I remember from this week's Parsha. I don't remember if it was last year or several years ago, when someone shared with me a reaction to my drasha at that time, and I'd like to share with you that reaction and some of my further thoughts, especially given the times that we are in. One of the prime formulations of the concept of schar va'onesh, of divine punishment and reward in the Torah, relative to our performance of the mitzvos, is the second paragraph of Shema that we say every day, which is found in this week's Parsha. The Torah says, "V'haya im shamoa tishmu el mitzvosai," and if you will listen, if you will hearken, if you will accept and obey all of my mitzvos, asher anochi metzaveh eschem hayom, that I'm commanding you today, if you do all of that, then you will serve me with your whole heart. Well, what will be your reward? V'natati metar tzechem bi'ito yoreu malkosh. I will provide rain for your land in the proper time, the early rain in the early rain's time, the late rain in the late rain's time. V'asafta deganecha v'tiroshcha v'yitzarecha, and you will be able to gather in your grain, your wine, and your oil. V'nasati esav v'sadecha lifamtach, and similarly I will provide grass in your fields for your animals. V'achalta v'savata, and you will be able to eat and be satisfied. And at the time, my big question was, is this really it? Is this the greatest reward that Hashem can provide, that He promises to provide, that if we fulfill all the mitzvos, if we serve Him with our whole heart, what will be the reward? Not extra life, not extra wealth, not extra great success. The reward is the rain will fall. Not even any extra rain, simply the rain will fall in the proper time when it is supposed to fall. Grass will grow. Your animals will have something to eat. You will have enough to eat. Is that really it? So at the time I tried to develop that it's not just about the rain or the food, but it's symbolic. It's meant to create a certain experience, a connection. The rain is symbolic of the connection between heaven and earth, that God's providence will be upon us, that we will feel Hashem's presence in this world. It's not a promise for the world to come. It's a promise to feel Hashem's presence in this world. And that is really what the Torah is saying. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's not. But after the drasha, the person came up to me and the person said, as I've gotten older, that itself struck me, the person wasn't really so old. As I've gotten older, I've come to the realization that having things simply the way they're supposed to be, that things are in the time when they're supposed to be, in the place they're supposed to be, that things simply function correctly, really is not something to take for granted. It is often, more often than not the case. And that itself is a great blessing. And that itself to him was satisfying. The Torah would say, the rain will fall in the right time, when it is supposed to, when you would expect it. Things will grow in the way that they are supposed to, as you would expect it. That itself really is an incredible blessing, and we do not need to explain it any further than that. And that struck me because I realized that he was right. That's a really good point. And when things simply are normal, when things simply function as we say to ourselves they are supposed to, we take it for granted because it's not anything special. It's not anything exceptional. It's supposed to be that way. But the truth is, it does not have to be that way. We can't expect it to be that way. Often than not, it is not exactly that way. And then there are these chaotic events in the ancient world where the Torah is really reassuring the people is that there will not be a drought, there will not be war, or as we are experiencing, a pandemic, a plague as they would call it, when suddenly all order, all stability, all predictability is gone, is thrown out the window. It is no longer normal. And when we lose those things, when there isn't that order, there isn't what we're used to, it's not happening as it is supposed to be, there's no order, so we cannot predict how things will be in a week, in a month, in a year, we realize how hard life is when we don't have the things that are supposed to be, when it's not normal. And so Hashem is saying that if you follow the Torah, if you observe the mitzvos, that will be your blessing. There will be order. There will be stability. Things will work as they should. And truth, this is, of course, midah keneged midah, an appropriate reward, because the Torah itself is not something foreign or strange to us or the world. Maybe sometimes difficult, but it is not exceptional. The Torah is the order of the universe. It is imprinted into nature, into ourselves. And if it would not be for the Yetzer Hara, really our nature is, the nature of our neshama is, to be shamoa tishmu al mitzvosai, to accept the mitzvos, to follow them, to observe them. And so Hashem is saying, if you will follow the spiritual order, if you'll do what you are supposed to do, not because you're commanded to do it, but what is in your nature to do. If you can push aside the distractions and temptations and be what you are meant to be. So then, midah keneged midah, God rewards us that the physical world, nature, will follow its order. The rain will fall in its time. Things will grow as it should, as we would expect. What is considered normal and regular and ordered. This is the blessing, the promise of the second paragraph of Shema. One lesson that we cannot forget from what we are currently experiencing is that what do we want? We want normal. That's all we want. We don't want anything exceptional. We don't want great reward. We just want things to be normal. We want school to be normal, work to be normal, shul to be normal. The grocery store should be normal. And hopefully one day we'll be able to have all of that. And when we will, we can't forget what we will have learned from our experiences now. That to just have a regular day with nothing exceptional, that the rain should fall in the rainy season, the grass should grow when the grass is supposed to grow, with nothing exceptional, with everything simply working as it should, is a great blessing that it cannot be taken for granted, as we have learned. And so we yearn for that, for what was normal, for what was regular, and we hope that we will get it soon. And when we will remember to thank Hashem for it.